Here we have Julia and Abby.
Hello, Mother. I was... Deception! Deception! How was the DAR meeting? Didn't you go to the DAR meeting, Mother? I didn't have the strength to go to the DAR meeting. In fact, I didn't have the courage. I wanted to find a hole and hide in the ground and hide myself in it forever. Why'd you do that? Why? Why? How old are you, Laura?
Mother, you know my own age.
I thought you were an adult. It seems I was mistaken.
Has something happened, Mother? Mother, has something happened?
What are we going to do? I'm sorry. What are we going to do? What is going to become of us? What is the future? Okay.
Solid.
Okay. I'll be all right in a minute. I'm just bewildered.
Mother, I wish you would tell me what was wrong.
As you know, I was supposed to be introduced into my office at the DAR this afternoon. But I stopped by Rubikins Business College to speak to one of your teachers about having a cold and ask them what progress they thought you were making down there. Oh? Sorry. I went to the typing instructor and introduced myself as your mother. She didn't know who you were. Wingfield, she said. We don't have any such student enrolled in the school. I assured her she did. But you've been going to class since early January. I wonder, she said, if you could be talking about the terribly shy little girl who dropped out of school only a few days after attendance. No, I said. Laura, my daughter, has been going to school every day for the past 6 weeks. Excuse me, she said. She took the attendance book out, and there was your name, unmistakably printed, and all the dates you have missed absent until they decided you've dropped out of school. I said, no, there must have been some mistake. There has to be some mix-up in the records. She said, no. I can remember her perfectly now. Her hand shook as she couldn't hit the right keys. For the first time we had a speed test, she broke down completely. She was sick to her stomach and almost had to be carried to the washroom. After that morning, she never showed up anymore. We phoned the house but never got an answer. While I was working at the famous bar, I suppose, demonstrating those. Oh, I felt weak. I could barely keep on my feet. I had to sit down a while. They got me a glass of water. $50 tuition. All our plans, my hopes and missions for you, just gone down the spout. Just gone like that. What are you doing? Oh? Laura, where have you been going? When you've been out pretending you were going to business college?
I've just been going out walking.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I just went walking.
Walking? Walking? In winter? Deliberately courting pneumonia in that light coat? Where did you walk to, Laura?
All sorts of places, most of the park.
Even after you started catching that cold?
It was the lesser of two evils, Mother. I couldn't go back. I threw up on the floor.
From 7:30 till after 5 every day, you mean to tell me you walked around the park because you wanted me to think you were still going to business college?
It wasn't as bad as it sounds. I went inside places to get warmed up.
Inside where?
I went to the art museum and the birdhouse at the zoo. I visited the penguins every day. Sometimes I did without lunch and went to the movies. Lately, I've been spending most of my afternoons in the jewel box, that big glass house where they raise the tropical flowers.
You did all of this for deception. Why?
Mother, when you're disappointed, you get that awful suffering look on your face, like the picture of Jesus' mother in the museum.
Hush.
I couldn't face it.
So what are we going to do with the rest of our lives? Stay home and watch the parades go by? Amuse ourselves with the grass menagerie, my darling? Eternally place those worn-out photographs your father left as a painful reminder of him? We won't have a business career. We've given up on that because it gave you nervous indigestion. What is there left but dependency of our lives? All I know so well what becomes of unmarried women who aren't prepared to occupy a position I've seen such pitiful cases in the South, barely tolerated by spinsters living upon graduation pardonage of their sister's husband or brother's wife, stuck away in some mousetrap of a room, encouraged by one-in-law to visit another, bird-like but without any nest, eating the crust of humility all their life. Is that the future that you've mapped out for ourselves? I swear it's the only alternative I can think of. It isn't a very pleasant alternative, is it? Is it? Of course, some girls do marry. Haven't you ever liked a boy?
Yes, I liked a boy once. I came across his picture a while ago.
He gave you his picture?
No, it's in the yearbook.
Oh, a high school boy.
Yes, his name was Jim. Here he is in the Pirates of the Penzance.
What?
The operetta the senior class put on. He had a wonderful voice, and we sat across the aisle from each other on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the auditorium. Here he is with the silver cup for debating. See his grin?
He must have had a jolly disposition.
He used to call me Blue Roses.
Why on earth did he call you such a name as that?
When I had the attack of pleurosis, he asked me what the matter was when I came back. I said pleurosis. He thought I said Blue Roses. So that's what he always called me after that. Whenever he saw me, he hollered, "Hello, Blue Roses!" I didn't care for the girl that he went out with, Emily Meisenbach. Emily was the best-dressed girl at Solian. She never struck me, though, as being sincere. It says the personal section they're engaged. That's 6 years ago. They must be married by now.
Girls that aren't cut out from business college usually wind up married to some nice man. Sister, that's what you'll do.
But Mother,
Yes?
I'm crippled.
Nonsense, Laura. I've always told you never use that word. Why, you're not crippled. You just have a little defect. Hardly noticeable even. When people have some slight disadvantage like that, they're cultured. Other things to make up for it. Develop charm, infinity, and charm. That's all you have to do. One thing your father had plenty of was charm. You crippled! You forgot you were crippled!
Pull up a stool, perhaps, and talk to us about what it is that you did.
It's cool. I'm good
Get the
standing.
stool.
I'm good standing.
Okay, fine.
That's
Yeah,
the
you're crippled.
stool.
You have to sit anyway. Okay, so. Oh, yeah. I have the most power throughout the scene, especially when I walk through the door, I enter. Very demanding. And most of the time, I'm standing center stage with my whole body towards the audience. Yeah.
When does the power in the scene shift? It shifts when, actually, when I kind of like start, let me find it. Yeah, when I talk about my pleurosis, that's when everything shifts and I have the power for that short time.
And there was also another part where she had power when I say, "Oh, you did all this to deceive me for deception," and I sit down just because I'm kind of disappointed, and then I regain power when I yell "hush," and she turns away from me. And I go on another long rant.
And then levels, when I'm sitting down and she's giving her a long spiel about me being an awful daughter, I like sit down and I like hunch over so she's like taller than me.
Sorry, dude.
And then when she sits down and I stand up, it like that's like the level in the power shift.
We don't have many power shifts. I'm kind of more the dominant character in this whole situation.
I did notice a lot of sharing. Was that
Yeah.
intentional?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did share a lot. When we were kind of arguing back and forth, like when she was telling me that she went on walks, she was kind of trying to be honest with me, kind of sharing there. Another time,
You jump in there, Julie.
I find it. Oh, when I first walked in and she was trying to figure out what was the matter. Well, after I made an entrance, and then she was trying to asking me what about the DAR. That was sharing.
And then giving was when she would like start talking, I would kind of slowly like walk back and like turn to the side,
Okay, you were
giving her the power, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all we really have.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.